I started recording after a conversation.
Yeah.
Where I hated my family.
Smart. Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, brother?
I am doing fantastic. I just cracked open a new notebook for the show. So I've cleared an entire notebook of show content, and I've started a fresh one. I'm excited. I have the timestamps all ready to go. A fresh notebook is a big deal for me. I'm a big note taker. I don't know about you, but I got stacks and stacks of notebooks.
I can't tell you the last time I've taken a note before the podcast.
Wow, my life is all notes. It's gross.
And it's funny because I used to do it all the time, but like it would never be in a notebook. It would just be like the nearest thing I could write chicken scratch on,
right.
And that would be it. And now I just basically wing it. Like we talk about it, but once before the show, and then I lock it in, and we're ready to go. But you have to do, now that you do the editing. I took more notes when I was editing because of the timestamps and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I can see why notes are very important.
Oh, and I mean the tail of a notebook too. I mean,
I was just gonna say the best thing about that is when we're long gone, and somebody is listening to these hundreds of hours of archived content.
Yes.
I mean, you can sell that notebook for, oh my God, a couple barrels of oil.
At least a couple. But it's so funny, like every notebook starts off the same way with the best of intentions. And it's so neatly written. That first page is and it just progressively worse as you flip the pages. Like the last few pages of my last notebook is impossible to read. Just writing in the corner of my desk and not even looking at the page. But I like a nice fresh notebook. Like you should see it's beautiful. I can't get too excited about this, but there it is.
There you go. I mean, I'm excited that we've done enough shows to fill a whole notebook.
Yeah, full notebook of show notes. So yeah, it's a new book, new page, same old show. Literally nothing different.
Same old show. Yes, same old show.
So what you been up to, man?
Nothing. Like I'm just trying to build up my island in Animal Crossing, and this is pretty much my main focus.
Nice.
Working on the side businesses.
Hustling.
I will never have this much time to work on some side hustles than I will right now, and if I don't take advantage of that, I feel bad. I would feel bad. You know what I mean?
I'm always like, it's crazy how much, like you said, just you can do so much stuff around the house. Like my house has never been, I wouldn't say more clean, but like just like things are in different places now. I'm organized things. Like the house is is in perfect condition, which is very rare.
Ours still isn't. Like we prioritize everything else over that.
I was gonna say, like, I've learned how to cook a lot of new things, like a lot of baking, a lot of new recipes we're trying out. Like
Sunny D and vodka.
Yes, Sunny D. That's an old standard. That's I found Sunny D at the store the other day. I'm like, ooh, let's give this one.
Man, I haven't had Sunny D in
that's what I was saying, forever. And it's still, you'll be happy to know, still tastes exactly the same.
That's great.
It's still delicious. But yeah, I'm making bread. I made all sorts of cool new recipes, and it's just there's nothing else to do, man.
Like I've decided though, like this quarantine stuff, me, I was traveling a ton.
Right.
Like I would travel 3 nights a week, basically every week. And I don't want to do that anymore.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
Like after this is over, like that's why I'm working on other stuff as much as I am, because it's like I need to figure out how to do these things for myself and make some sustainable money on my own, because I don't want to go back to it. Like
speaking of sustainable money, we should give a shout out to our newest.
Yes, I was getting there.
Oh, perfect. I wasn't sure if you remembered.
Yep.
We got our newest patron to the flock. I guess it's a flock.
And you know, just because he's a patron is one thing, but he's been a huge supporter of the show for a very long time. Just
one of the great supporters.
Yes, like probably messages us after every episode.
Yep.
In the Telegram to talk about the episode.
In my heart, he's like one of like 5 people that actually listens to the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so shout out to I want to say it properly. I don't know if there's another name, but I have it here as Munster. Or as Munstar, AZZMUNSTARR.
I always just call it Ass Monster.
Yeah, like Ass Monster, right?
Yeah.
He's a monster for ass.
Shout out to the Ass Monster. Thanks for the support.
I love it. So, yes, welcome. We really appreciate it. Yeah, it's terrific. I can't believe people do this sometimes. So.
I'm pretty sure, and I don't want to blow him up too much. I'm pretty sure he works in a prison. Is that a thing that you've gathered?
I believe so.
Because he frequently talks in the Telegram about how he gets the inmates to listen to the show.
Actually, no. I'm just on his Twitter right now. It says in jail, so shill me, don't shank me. So unless he's a prisoner, but I think funny. I think you're right though. I think he's a prison guard or works at a prison of some sort.
So shout out to all those REKT podcast listeners
Maybe he's in prison and he's the guy that just he's
that'd be even cooler if he's the prisoner, the ass monster. And if and he's the ass monster, and then he's getting other inmates to listen to our show, and we've gotten just like so much fucking street cred.
Oh my god! If we have, I think prison cred supersedes street cred.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If we have prison cred, and God forbid one of us ever goes into prison for tax evasion.
Well, let's be honest, it's going to be me. Oh, I might not be for tax evasion, but I'm definitely going to.
Well, I just said tax evasion because it's probably the most likely crypto crime you could just accidentally commit by being in crypto.
Sure, no, that makes sense.
Because I'm definitely not a criminal by any means. I'm a pretty straight laced dude, and but I feel like I could accidentally go to prison being in crypto somehow.
That's
you
fair.
Know what I mean?
That's a fair statement.
So if we ever accidentally go to prison, and if I just walked in and somebody's like, "Yo, what's your name?" and I'm like, "Bunchu," and they're like, "Oh shit, you're Bunchu? Like that Bunchu?"
do Trump.
What did you do? Shank chamber? You finally did it, man. You finally got rid of that motherfucker.
His time was coming.
So, man.
So I think we should absolutely get teardrop tattoos. I think is the next logical step.
I think so. I mean that's definitely the next logical step. But
that's awesome.
Anyway, shout out thank you for the support. Anybody else who likes the show and listens, I think it could be as little as $2.
$2, man.
$2.
I mean, we are in trying times, so hey, any little bit helps.
Yeah, I mean, look, that stimulus.
It's stimulating.
Oh man, I saw something the other day that just made me want to puke. It was this pastor in Louisiana or somewhere, or Georgia or somewhere, where he is basically telling his parishioners that they should donate their checks to not the church, directly to the pastors and preachers.
Wow. Well, I pick on church stuff fairly frequently, but that's what it's about. That's why they have donation plates and stuff like that.
But the way this guy was doing it was just different. He was directly, no shame, directly to himself.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, take your stimulus checks and give it to me. Basically, he was saying, and then they just like roasted him on the news. They're like, you just told us that people can't even afford to get to you. You have to bust them in, and you want them to give their only stimulus check to you?
And lots of them probably would, which is the sad part.
Yeah,
you know
because people are fucking dumb.
Well, I don't know what's worse. Is that worse, or what's his name thinking that $1,200 will get you about 10 weeks worth of life?
Oh man, isn't that the elitist? Most elite thing you've ever heard, right?
It's crazy. So yeah. Did you get your?
There's no way that guy doesn't There's no way that guy doesn't spend $1,200 a day.
No shit, $1,200 a dinner.
Right, like that's what I mean. Like we're referring to Steve Mnuchin.
I thought it was John Oliver, but yeah, Steve Mnuchin.
He does look like him. That's pretty funny. I actually did get a stimulus check, but I wasn't expecting to. I thought, because I didn't fall individually, I don't fall in the bracket. So I thought.
Oh, I thought everybody just got one.
No, you had to be in a certain income bracket.
Oh, okay.
And so it was originally, I thought my wife was only going to get one because she fell in the bracket, and I didn't, because I originally saw that
because you make based on, bro.
It was originally thought that originally said that it would go off your 2018 tax return. So we did not file jointly then because we weren't married. So I thought she was going to get one. I wouldn't. Turns out they went off of our this year's tax return, in which we filed jointly. So if you were filing jointly, the threshold was much higher.
Right.
And I think the threshold was like anything under $200,000. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I got.
So did you get double? Like, did you get two $1,200?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And then if you have kids and you're in that, you get like an extra, I don't know.
I feel like
$500 a kid.
I feel
or
like
something.
I've got like, I don't know if I got any stimulus checks yet. I think I got a $200 like deposit because my kids weren't in school. Like, because it was like a $200 like, hey, get some fucking notepads and pencils and shit.
Your daycare fee.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's all we've gotten so far. But whatever. My wife says I think our kid, like, we get like a baby bonus, like it's a child tax credit every month.
Yep.
Apparently she says that one should be higher, like pretty significantly. So I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting. Anyway.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right. Well, here's what we got going on in the market. As of right now, we are in the Bunchu buy zone for Bitcoin. We are at $6,843 at time of recording. So we are minus 3.2%, minus $213 in the last 24 hours. Ethereum down 4%, 170. XRP down 3%, 18 cents. Bitcoin Cash down 4%, $220. And Bitcoin SV down 6% at 180. So I will be making a slight Bunchu buy today. Are we thinking that like this is going to keep going down or what?
I don't know. I think if it stays north,
because I want to know if I should deploy the whole stash that's been sitting, accumulating.
I think the magic number before, like people were saying, that's $6,700. Like we wouldn't be able to pass through. So now, resistance becomes support. So I think if we're closing above 6,700, I think we're good.
All right. So maybe I'll deploy half today.
Yeah, I think that's
half of what's
bet.
been accumulating.
Yeah,
because the $20 a day. So currently in my Cash App, just waiting for me to buy, is $120. So the last time I bought Bitcoin was about a week ago. And so maybe I'll deploy half of it today. And
yeah, I think that's fairly safe.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. I'm going to do it right now.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Any guess on Cash App what $60 worth of Bitcoin gets you?
I'm going to say 0.0055.
Oh, higher. 0.00855.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, 0.00855. So, almost 1% of a Bitcoin.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. I now own 1% of a Bitcoin. That's my whole holdings.
Hey, before we get moving on here, I have a TV recommendation for you.
Oh, we've got recommendations.
It is I've crushed it.
Riggedy, wrecked, son!
It's
wow. Okay.
It's 6 episodes.
Okay, can I guess what it's going to be before?
You can absolutely guess.
Because I've had some people, and I don't know if you've already talked about this or not, but I don't think you have.
This is fresh. This is a fresh piece of media.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think I might be getting there, or I think I might have an idea.
Okay. Let's say. Well, guess the platform first. I guess we'll say.
Oh, okay. Well, if I get the platform wrong, it's not even. I was gonna guess Netflix.
That is correct.
Okay, so I've seen other people talk about this in my personal life lately. Everybody says you got to watch it. I'm gonna go with the guess of Unorthodox.
Ooh, I don't know what that is. It's not Unorthodox.
Okay.
It is the miniseries Waco.
Oh, I literally just saw this pop up on my Netflix
It's fresh.
this morning.
I think it showed up this weekend, like this past weekend.
Is it a documentary?
Docu-series.
Okay, so it is a docu-series about...
But basically, it was weird because it shows up as fresh on Netflix. But if you look, it says like 2018.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, so where was this before it was on Netflix? And apparently, it was produced by Paramount, basically Paramount's streaming service, which apparently nobody has. And it's basically like half of the cast of Boardwalk Empire. So I don't know if you've ever watched Boardwalk Empire, but it's basically like you'll notice the 3 main characters are basically the 3 of the main characters from Boardwalk Empire. It is phenomenal. I watched all 6 episodes in 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, it was a 3 and 3. Like it was that good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I got right into like the 90's. Like that chain of events that happened between, I don't know if you're very familiar with it, but like Ruby Ridge, Waco, and like the Oklahoma City bombing. There's kind of like a linear line that happens between those 3 events, like they're kind of connected, and they all happened in the 90s. And it's crazy. Like like the only thing is when you're watching it, just considering the environment that we're currently in.
Yeah.
Like watching it could create you'll see what I mean. Like watching it could create problems in society today. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's intense. It's intense. And like I don't know about you. Like I was a kid. Obviously, we were both kids when this happened. But it was definitely like, oh, this insane person with this cult, and there's a lot of media narrative, and as I got older, as more documentaries came out, and it was just like, oh, that media narrative back then was definitely not what actually transpired. Anyways, it's fantastic. I would give it 4.5 out of 5. Do we have a recommendation scale? I think we have a 5. I think aren't we using the same one?
I don't think it's the Stranger scale.
Isn't it? Because isn't Strangers the Netflix show that we based
it was, but
upon?
that's a 1. We should really change the other scale.
Yeah.
So like this would be 1 Stranger then, because Stranger you hated, so it would have to be like reverse.
Right. This is good though. This is I would say like a pretty high recommendation on this one.
All right, I'm gonna give it a watch. We need some new stuff to watch.
Very watchable, and like my wife was not sold on it, and we watched 1 episode. I
was just gonna say this. My problem is always I can't convince my wife to originally jump into docuseries. Like she doesn't like them, or she thinks she doesn't like them, and then so it's got to be a good one, and it's got to hook her. Like, I mean, Tiger King, she didn't even want to watch.
Right.
And like, that's, I mean.
I would say I was binging this harder than even Tiger King.
Really?
To watch 3 episodes in one night is a big deal. And that's what we were absolutely doing. So like, she was on the fence about it. We watched the first episode because I think we were just going to watch it the night before. And she kind of pulled the plug on it. I'm like, oh. And then the next day I brought it up. I'm like, oh, let's just watch it. I just turned it on and just kind of like, before she could say no, I just turned it on and we were watching it. And I mean, by the end of the first episode, we watched another one and then we watched another one after that. Like it was that good.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to have to give that a watch. And do you have any others, or is that it?
That's it.
All right. Nice. So from there, let's get to the news. You got a story for us, brother?
I do. This one's a little bit of a racy article. It's from Cointelegraph. Sex Tech announces first VR event on blockchain security. So this is kind of interesting. The VR Sex Tech event will discuss the blockchain protections that are in place for those sex industry workers and those utilizing sex technology, or sex tech, as they...
sex tech.
Yeah. Panelists from sex tech industries will gather in virtual reality on April 23rd to discuss the impact of safety in the sex industry when it comes to the blockchain. The notice posted to Eventbrite UK says the event will address the way blockchain technology impacts payments towards sex workers, records consent between partners, and documents sexual harassment. Quote, by design, blockchain is an open and distributed ledger that can record transaction between two parties efficiently and in a verifiable and permanent way. How anonymous is our sex history on blockchain? Are we protected, are we protected as we think? So these bring up a lot of good points here. Featuring Alison Falk, president of Women of Sex Tech, the founder of Cyber Rabbit Imagination Studios, and a sex and intimacy coach. She's also a podcast host. This lady does a lot of stuff here. The panel will be hosted on Altspace VR April 23rd, which is in 2 days from now, 1830 BST. I have, what is that, Beijing Standard Time? I'm not sure what BST is. 1830, I think, is 5:30 BST. I don't know what BST is. So I'm going to go with Beijing Standard Time. I feel good about it.
I would probably say that's not it.
Probably not it. Belarus? I don't know. But yes, 5:30 BST on April 23rd. I think this is interesting. I think blockchain could serve a little bit of a purpose there in the sex industry, especially, like they said, for payments, secure payments, records of consent, and documentation of sexual harassment. I think those are three.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so interesting stuff.
For sure. I think that would work. Let's see what happens. Let's follow up shortly. All right, what do I got here? Let's see. I have from CoinDesk, Bitcoin under pressure after oil prices crash to new record lows. First of all, when did everybody on Twitter become an oil expert?
We're experts in everything. I don't know if you know.
Holy cow. I mean, all that was on my feed yesterday was oil.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a big day yesterday.
So this is saying here, Bitcoin is looking weak after Monday's big crash in the oil markets. The top cryptocurrency by market value changing hands near 62 or 68.20 at the time of this writing, having faced rejection at 7,200 yesterday, according to CoinDesk's Bitcoin price index. Bitcoin's fall came as the price of oil, popularly known as black gold, tanked on oversupply fears. Notably, traders fled from the May futures contract on the West Texas Intermediate, or the WTI crude, the main oil benchmark for North America, sending prices below zero for the first time on record. So this obviously is unprecedented, never happened before. And this sell-off has injected uncertainty into the global financial markets. As a result, stocks dropped on Monday, with the S&P losing 1.8%, and the risk of macro environment has again strengthened bearish pressures for Bitcoin. So basically this is saying, hey, the overall the overall market is going to have a negative effect on Bitcoin. What do you think about that? Are you thinking we're correlated? Are we, some people like to think we're not correlated, but I'm not quite sure. What do you think?
I would say we're moderately correlated, meaning like what we're seeing in the market has a slight impact, I would say, just on just the overall sentiment of all markets. But I don't think we get the same crushing downturns as some of the more traditional markets are getting lately. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
Yeah, so maybe like a partial correlation.
Yeah, a semi.
A semi.
Yeah,
yes.
A semi.
I think a semi is the appropriate term there.
Yeah, it's a semi. Not a full on. Not a rager.
Not a rage, exactly. Not a rager.
Not a raging correlation, but just a semi correlation.
Just to say.
We are just something, huh?
That's right, we are. That's why we get all these patrons.
Yeah, all two of them. Shout out to Ass Monster. All right, you got one more?
I have one more story here. A Chinese EOS-based wallet app reportedly shuts down, leaving $52 million in user funds inaccessible. That's a lot of money. EOS Ecosystem, a wallet app that has promised high returns for users' EOS deposits, has shut down the platform, and its creators appear to have run away with approximately $52 million in user funds, according to a local report. On Monday, investors reported being unable to access their accounts via EOS Ecosystem's app. According to Chinese blockchain media outlet Chain News, most of these funds have also been removed from the service's account. That sucks. Ever since development studio Block.one released the open source blockchain software EOS.io in 2018, several firms have carried out investment scams centered around the blockchain's native cryptocurrency EOS. EOS Vote, EOS Cube, and EOS Fin are examples, all reveal themselves to be fraudulent platforms. Chain News previously reported that EOS Ecosystems do not have EOS Node as it claims, and has been running a pyramid scheme. In 2019,
the worst kind of scheme.
The worst. I mean, I could see an upside down funnel,
right? But I mean,
but not
to just be a straight up pyramid scheme.
Yeah, that's tough. In 2019, the project was sued in local courts in Tangzhou, China, for allegedly carrying out a pyramid scheme involving 33 million EOS tokens. That was approximately $81 million at the time. So, yeah, EOS, your spot for online or for blockchain Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes. So,
welcome to EOS, the home of blockchain Ponzi schemes.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know.
Check out our unique and individual upside down funnel blockchain.
Yeah, it's it's tough out there for EOS. So they've always, I feel like they've been in the news since their inception. There's always been something fishy with them. So, and again, this is not in any way, shape, or form EOS's fault, but obviously just people using their blockchain to do some shady shit.
Shady shit. Yikes. Anyway, all right, I've got one more here. We've got Chinese tech giant Alibaba's subsidiary launches consortium blockchain platform. What? What? So Ant Financial launched its consortium blockchain platform OpenChain. The platform is aimed at helping SMEs deploy blockchain applications faster and cheaper. OpenChain's transaction speed is said to be several times faster than public blockchain platforms like Ethereum. Interesting. I'm not sure what the benefit of that is, though, right? He says here that these use cases require not only a trust mechanism among all parties, but also high-performance consensus algorithms that can complete authentication, computation on the fly. So, major Chinese tech firms have been gearing to launch blockchain platforms. Earlier this year, Baidu launched the public beta for its open network blockchain Superchain. And there's been a bunch of others here as well. So Alibaba and Tencent groups in particular are the most active players in the blockchain space. Last year, Tencent and its affiliates filed for 718 blockchain patents, while the Alibaba group filed 470. So I think it's a big deal. Alibaba's, one of the biggest companies, really.
Yeah.
They're huge. So, especially...
Do you use them much, or have you used them?
No, I haven't. Have you?
I used to use them all the time. I was an early Alibaba.
So I used them a lot back when I was buying GPUs for mining. Because they had good deals on GPUs and stuff. But I haven't used them since. But who knows?
They're actually great for electric guitars and acoustic guitars.
All right.
Just a couple from there.
All right. But I think that's going to do it for the news. We've got a couple more things here. First of all, it wouldn't be a week in REKT podcast if we didn't play Defend That Tweet.
The defense is not back, Mo.
Hey, just get our energy going at the defensive end. Keep playing defense.
So you got two tweets I have here that you need to defend.
Yeah.
One, from 18 hours ago.
Okay.
13 likes, 9 comments.
Ooh, a lot of comments.
Almost ratioed.
Yeah, almost ratioed in comments. That's how you know it's a controversial one.
Yeah. It's a picture tweet. My kid just ate a bird while playing in the backyard. She's got that dead look in her eyes. # girls can be serial killers too. Defend this fucking tweet.
Oh, some great work there by me. I received that picture from my wife. All I knew is they were playing outside, and then that's what she looked like afterwards. I'm like, what did she do? Eat a bird? And it turns out the popsicles that I purchased, they don't come in pink like most popsicles do. It's actually a red, and it's the bloodiest red I've ever seen. It was in fact actually a popsicle, but it looks absolutely like she just ate a bird.
So she didn't actually eat a bird?
No, and most people absolutely thought that she ate a bird.
100%.
I thought you were playing along.
No, I 100% thought she ate a bird because it's like just the stupid shit that would happen to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is exactly something that would happen to you. Like, oh, yeah, what'd you do this weekend? My daughter devoured a bird in our backyard.
Didn't even think twice about it.
My daughter had a pigeon seance in the backyard.
Yeah. So it's pretty bad.
What were the replies that you got to that? Because I know I was like, bro, she ate a bird. What? You need to take her to the fucking doctor.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. It was like, what the fuck? It was a lot of people thinking it actually happened. There was like one person that figured out it was a popsicle. So kudos to you.
But I think it's because of how the picture looks. She looks guilty.
Yes,
she looks like she just did something that she might have gotten in trouble for.
Exactly.
Yeah, like no joke. So
yeah, no, I got the picture, and that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, oh shit, what happened?
All right, so I got one more tweet for you that's actually going to lead us into the next, or what we're going to do for our draft today. So this comes from, I believe, Sunday evening. Let me just check here. I lost it for a second. Yeah, yes, 4/19 at 9:29 p.m. It got 2 likes.
Ugh.
Okay. 2 likes. Watching Kobe Bryant's Muse on HBO tonight.
Yeah, I sure did. So everybody on Sunday night was all horned up for the last. I think it's called. What is it called? The Last Dance. Is that what it's called? Last Dance?
Last Dance.
The Michael Jordan documentary, or the 96 Bulls documentary.
97, but yes.
97, whatever piece of shit year it was. And I mean, yeah, I think Jordan obviously is overrated. I think he was a piece of shit, teammate, and I don't want to watch a documentary about him. And I watched a Kobe Bryant documentary, which I'm sure is a million times better. I hate Michael Jordan. I think is the overarching point on this one.
Perfect. So what we're going to do in honor of Michael Jordan and the Last Dance documentary got everybody talking about 90s basketball. So we're going to draft our dream team of 90s basketball players. Only 90s, right?
All right.
So what position we got to fill all the positions too, correct?
Correct. Yeah, you got to have a starting 5.
Okay. So what positions do we need? Can I go just 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center?
Yeah, we'll go all-star rules.
Okay.
2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center.
Okay. So I'll let you pick first.
Ooh.
Because I want to see if you're going to do it.
I'm definitely not going to do it.
You're not going to do it.
No way. I'm going to take, with my number 1 overall pick, I'm going to take the greatest player of the 90s is Shaquille O'Neal.
I can't believe you didn't do it. All right. Shaquille O'Neal, obviously.
I just took the best player of the 90s. I don't know what else I could have done.
Obviously, because he eventually becomes a Laker and wins, 2 championships with you?
I honestly do feel, that all being said, I honestly do feel you throw everybody in the conversation, LeBron, Kobe. I think Shaquille O'Neal is the most dominant player ever to play the game of basketball.
Wow.
Period. I mean, yes, he doesn't have the accolades of, the Michael Jordan MVPs. Like, it's a shit. I think he's got 1 MVP, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He doesn't have, he's got championship. I think he's got 5 championships. So he's got championships. He's got an MVP, but I mean, the guy, they had to change they changed rules for Jordan too, but there are significant rule changes based on Shaquille O'Neal, and I would take a Shaq prime over probably any other basketball player ever.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
Yeah.
All right.
I was a Kobe fan, when the Kobe Shaq split. I was on Team Kobe, obviously. But even
tell me how my ass tastes.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me how my ass tastes. So.
Hey, Kobe.
What a great line. The ultimate troll.
The ultimate troll. All right. So I'm going to take it. It's there for me. I'm going to take it. Right? It's not against the rules to take him.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
All right. I'm taking Jordan. So it's my shooting guard.
Yeah. You are penciled in. All right. You get another pick.
Oh, another pick.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. You've already picked your center, so I can let my center go till my last pick.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go with, let's see here. How about, man, should I just do it?
Well, you're going to you could.
Should I do it? I'm going to do it.
Idea.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Pippen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen all over the world.
Scottie, 2 T's and an I and an E. Pippen. All right. That's not hey. Can't argue Pippen Jordan.
He's my strong forward.
So I get 2 picks now?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to do you one better. I already have Shaq. I'm going to go with the best duo out of the 90s. And I'm going to go John Stockton as my point guard.
Oh, I almost took the mailman.
And I'm going to take Karl Malone as my power forward. Now, already my team's beating you. I mean, it's devastating. I'm going to be the shooting guard in my team. Because I was pretty sick in the 90s.
I'm going to go... Okay, so I have... What do I have? I have a strong forward and I have a shooting guard.
Yeah. So you need a point guard, a power forward, and a center.
Oh, man.
Like you said, center you can leave to whenever.
Yeah, center I can leave to the end because you already have it. Let me go with... I think I'm going to go for my... I'm gonna take my other guard. I'm going to take my other guard, and I'm going to go. I can take a second shooting guard, right?
Yeah, you can take 2 shooting guards, absolutely.
I'm going to go with Reggie Miller.
Ooh.
Yeah, Reggie Miller.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So now you need a power forward and a center. Or a center.
Oh, I forgot I get another pick. Mm-hmm. So my power forward is going to be, I think I'm going to go with the round mound of rebound, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. That's nothing wrong with that.
So what's my team right now? I got Jordan, Pippen, Barkley, Miller.
Yeah, I got to make some good decisions here. So, shit. Small forward. And 1 second here. I got to pull.
Oh, yeah. I got the heat is on now.
I'm going to Google.
The heat is on.
Let's go with.
And all I have left is a center, huh? So.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, baby.
Jeez. Oh, it's slim pickings. Reggie Miller and Michael Jordan are definitely upper echelon. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with Clyde the Glide Drexler.
Not
I think
bad.
that's a solid pick.
Not bad.
For those of you who are a little
And then you're
older,
closing out your team?
Yeah, I'm going to close out my team here with the fudge. This one's going to be tougher. This one might be a little easier, actually. I'm going to go with... jeez. Obviously, Pippen's going to be up there. Oh, shit, you didn't take him. I was getting Reggie Miller confused with him. Easy pick, then. Pardon me. My small forward is going to be none other than Grant Hill.
Oh, okay. Good. Nice. All right, so, yeah, I always used to confuse Reggie Miller and Grant Hill as well.
Yeah, there's a resemblance there.
Yeah. All right, so my last pick, I'm torn between 2 for my center.
In my opinion... It's an easy call, but I'm only thinking of one person.
So here's why it's not an easy call for me. Because I'm going to go with one I think is probably, I would say, the better player. I'm not sure clearly the better player, but I would say he's the better player. I would say if you asked almost anybody, he would be chosen before this other person. The other one that I'm going between is just childhood favorite.
Okay, all right.
Because he played for the team I rooted for, and so I was always a big fan. So the second one that I'm talking about would be none other than Patrick Ewing.
Nothing wrong with that pick.
I'm deciding on whether I want to go Patrick Ewing or Hakeem Olajuwon.
To me, that's the one.
Yeah, and it's really
closer.
it's really just which one do I want to at least take one player that I was in love with in my childhood.
It's a conversation. I wasn't thinking Patrick Ewing, but now that you say it, I could see there's an argument to be made there.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a couple others that I could choose. The other one that would come to my mind is what did they call him, Captain America or something? David Robinson.
Oh, no, he was just the Admiral.
The Admiral, yes. That's what
David Robinson's a good
he's
pick.
another really good option here for me. I think just sheer voting-wise, I think I want to go for the win here. Yeah. And I'm going to take Hakeem, the Dream.
I think he was fantastic.
So, what is our final teams here?
Okay, your team... Fuck, you got a good team. Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, and Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh, my team, Rumble in the Jungle. Your team, Touched by Your Uncle.
All right. I would argue that my team is better.
Of course you would. You drafted it. But that's not for us to decide.
No. I would say that John Stockton, Clyde Drexler, Grant Hill, Karl Malone, and Shaquille O'Neal are a better starting five than yours. The only one where you win, in my opinion, is obviously Clyde Drexler to Michael Jordan. But I would probably take Grant Hill over Scottie Pippen. I would take Karl Malone over Charles Barkley. I would take Shaq over Hakeem. And maybe John Stockton, Reggie Miller's a wash.
Wow. Okay, you think so, huh?
I think so. Maybe it's a wash between Grant Hill and Scottie Pippen too.
I'm actually really excited to put this out for the vote.
This is as close as it's going to get.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these become a little bit of a runaway. I think we're going to have pretty close.
This will be tight.
Yeah, I think this will be tight. What I fear for you is that everybody's just going to see Michael Jordan,
of course.
and you don't have Michael Jordan.
No, I do not.
And they're not going to equate Michael Jordan to your first pick, Shaq, and that might put you behind the eight ball.
As a disadvantage, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that might put you at a disadvantage. But, maybe the strength of the rest of your team will... And people might see me. Well, I guess you kind of did the same thing. I was going to say people might see me taking Pippen and Jordan as a cop out, but hey, you did the same thing with.
I did. Yeah, I did Stockton Malone.
Yeah.
So no, that's fair.
Cool. Well, that was a fun one. So we'll get that out today, also, or whenever the podcast drops, and that's going to do it. Anything else for us?
No, I just want to thank the Nest show. I was on their show this weekend with Invest Noir.
Ooh.
It was a fun show. Talk some shit.
What'd you guys talk about?
It was a real crypto podcast. They didn't let me. I couldn't stretch my wings the way I wanted to.
You mean it wasn't like our garbage that we put out?
No, I tried to bring a little bit into it, but we had fun. It was a true crypto podcast.
So crypto, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It was, but Ben, who is the host, very good. I gotta tell you, I was a little outmatched when it came to radio voices. Both Ben.
I definitely know Noir's.
Obviously, Noir.
Yeah.
So I had to step up my storytelling and my comedy chops a little bit, but we had some fun. I think we got good positive feedback from everybody there. So just introduce the REKT podcast to a little bit more of a bigger audience. So
cool.
Hopefully we see some of those people come over.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for having Chamber. We appreciate any time we can get out on other podcasts. And thank you again to our Patreons and our newest member, Ass Monster. Hope we're giving that prison some cred,
Absolutely. Teardrops tattoo incoming.
That's right. And it's not going to be just because we are wrecked on Bitcoin and we're crying. Yeah.
Is that not what it means?
Yeah, right. That's going to do it for us. Until next time, don't get wrecked. And that is financial advice.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a REKT patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/REKT podcast. Don't get wrecked.